come with me to fly across the country from Florida to Alaska. And before you ask, yes, I am sick, so that's why I sound like I'm dying. I am totally one of those people that often get sick like right before or on vacation. It's the worst, but whatever. Anyways, I made it through security, and since I'm a TSA pre-check girly, it only took about 10 minutes, which for the Orlando airport is pretty good. And here you can see I was exhausted. Because I am also one of those people who do not sleep the night before a trip. Like, me and traveling are just, it's rough, okay? Anyways, I had to go make sure that my gate and my plane existed and that they were both real and that I didn't just show up to the airport for no reason. And sure enough, there's the plane, and the plane was on time. So the whole reason I was even going to Alaska is because one of my cousins who lives in Alaska is getting married, and I was going to be one of her bridesmaids. This was not my first time going to Alaska. I had gone last year as well, so I was familiar with how long this travel day was going to be. So we all boarded onto the plane. This was my first flight, which my layover was going to be in Houston. And this was a pretty short flight. It was only about 2 hours. And as you can see, we did not have any screens on our seats, so I couldn't watch any movies or anything. But I was so tired, I just did this the whole flight. So after 2 hours, we finally landed. And look, don't ask me why I'm pushing my suitcase like this, okay? I have an injury on my dominant arm and my shoulder has been a mess. So I just do things that don't make sense. But anyways, I made it to Houston. And once again, I had to go and check that my flight and my plane were real and that I didn't show up to the airport for no reason. Sure enough, there it was, and it was on time. So I grabbed some food real quick because Alaska is far. Like, I really don't think you can travel any further from Florida than Alaska. So I knew that was my only chance for food for most of the day. Then we started boarding, yay! Now, whenever I'm on a longer flight, I always get an aisle seat, and I also tend to get seats in the back so that I'm close to a bathroom. I need to pee a lot, okay? And an aisle seat also lets me stretch my legs out a little more, so I'm always in the aisle seat in the back. So once we're all seated in, wow, my voice is really bad, guys, sorry. Anyways, once we're all boarded, we took off, and as you can see, the flight is a little over 6.5 hours. And we also had screens on the back of our seats this time, so I had some entertainment. And I thought, since I was on my way to be a bridesmaid in a wedding, what better movie to watch than Bridesmaids? Then after Bridesmaids, I decided to watch one of my favorite movies of all time, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Which, by the way, I recently watched Anyone But You on another flight, and I saw people saying it's better than How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and I think you all are losing your mind. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is way more superior. Don't even try me. But anyways, then I watched Ocean's 8. By the time that was over, we were almost to Anchorage. Yay! Now, I'm no Alaska expert, so I'm gonna need somebody else to tell me if I'm right or not, but I think this little view out here down below is a glacier, like at the bottom of the window. I think there, right there. Is that a glacier? I don't know. It might not be, but it's pretty regardless. So somebody from Alaska, let me know if that's a glacier or not. I went to some glaciers on my last Alaska trip, so I think that's them, but I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, we finally landed just before 7 p.m. Alaska time, which would be 11 p.m. Florida time. And the total number of hours of both of my flights was a little over 8.5 hours. But the total amount of both my flights and hanging around waiting at airports was 11 hours. So I was very happy to land because it was a long travel day. But I was greeted by this little moose right here, and I finally made it to Alaska.